Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Impact Marketing Summit. I brought together some of the world's top marketing experts to share with you their new age marketing strategies and techniques that will literally change the way you perceive and implement marketing in your day to day business. My name is Vamsi Pannala, and right now I'm delighted to be speaking with Sue Moses. Sue helps you to look, feel, and sound great in your videos so you can stand out in your news feed, establish yourself as a go to authority in your niche, and make more dollars. As a video coach, Sue gives her clients a rapid transformation experience covering presenting to a camera, confidence, and succinct message crafting. Sue's experience comes from over 14,000 hours of live broadcasting on Australian media. She was a TV presenter at Network 10, TVSN, and Sky Channel. In radio, she busted a glass ceiling for female broadcasters, becoming the first female DJ in Australia to host a prime time shift on commercial FM radio. Sue also has a master's in communication, specializing in interpersonal communication, which means she has valuable insights into what makes a video engaging to a viewer. If you want to create a scroll stopping videos that you can feel proud to post, create VSLs that bring you the dollars, or close the high ticket sales with video, Sue can make it happen for you. By the way, Sue survived a helicopter crash, has two teenage sons, and is a devotee of hot yoga and ice baths. Sue, welcome to the summit.
A big part of being good at anything is confidence. And confidence comes when you develop your skills, as you feel that your skills are growing. And that doesn't matter whether it's baking a cake, driving a car, playing golf, knitting a jumper. No matter what it is that you're doing, the more you do something, the better you get at it, the more you understand about the process, and your confidence will grow. There's actually a process, a thing called the 4 stages of learning, or the 4 stages of competence. And it's how we start out with anything. We see somebody who's good at something, do it, and we think, how hard can that be? And that is called the unconscious stage, or unconscious incompetence. We don't know that we can't do it. Then we start to do it and we realize that there's a bit more involved in what first looked to be pretty easy, and that's called conscious incompetence. Then as we start and as we learn a few skills and we understand the process, we become consciously competent. We can do the thing if we're thinking about it. And then if we do it for long enough and we become expert, then we become unconsciously competent. We can do the thing well without thinking about it. So my presentation today is about helping you to understand the process, the foundation, the framework, if you will, of what it takes to make a good video. And the same rules apply if you're doing a Facebook Live. So I call this the mobile framework, and I came up with an acronym. I always have a problem saying that word properly, to remind myself as a bit of a mental checklist and the people that I coach with video of the steps that you need to go through to ensure you don't miss any one of the vital stages that go into making a good video. The first part, the first thing that we need to know is just like a good road trip. We need to have a plan. We need to have a destination in mind. We need to know where we're going, or things will end badly. And I can't stress to you enough how much of a difference you will experience if you spend a bit of time planning your video. A lot of people that I speak to and that I encounter in my training, to them it's a chore. It's something that they don't enjoy doing. So they put it off, they put it off, they put it off. And then they go, okay, I've got to do this now. And they do it and it's rushed and the result isn't good. And they get, lost and confused and rambled on, and they forget what their point is. And the feeling at the end of that is demoralizing, because where they thought they just had this quick thing that they wanted to say that should really only take 60 seconds or something, ends up taking 3 or 4 or 5 minutes in a live. Or else if it's a recorded video, it ends up taking 5, 10 or more takes to get it absolutely right as far as they're concerned in their own judgment. So here we go with what goes into making a good video. Now I spent, over 10,000 hours in front of a camera and in front of a microphone. And along that time, I was critiqued and directed, and we'd go back over what I did and, what did I do well and what could be done better. And that's something that I encourage you to do with your own videos. But you must be really aware that the first thing that you comment about needs to be really positive. Because if you immediately zone in on something that you did that you didn't like, then it shuts down the parts of your brain that need to be awakened and stimulated in order for you to learn and to build your courage. All right. So when it comes to video, there's two sides. It's one coin, but there's two sides. There's the production side and there's the presentation side. And there's a little bit of overlap. So the production side of things is things like light, sound, set, and your message. And for the presentation, excuse the door slamming, I've got it doing this from home because we're in lockdown and my son's just left. So the message does overlap. The message that you write in the production stage or prepare in the production stage informs your background and your approach and what you're going to wear, and it then crosses over into the presentation side of things as well. So the presentation side of that coin encompasses how you look, your wardrobe, your hair, your smile, your animation. And then you also have the audio side of it. So how do you sound? Now, if you are using your mobile phone, which I suggest you do from the very beginning. I'm recording off my desktop here, but when I'm doing lives and recording videos, I use my mobile phone. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it at this stage by, trying to learn new technology, like how to wire up your digital camera so you can live stream from it, and setting up audio tracks. If you've got a mobile phone, and you set it up so that it's arm's length from you, that will give you a nice framing. It will keep you intimate in the screen, and it will mean that you're close enough to the microphone for the audio to do the job. I want you to think that, quality is important, that the tech side of things and the production side of things is important, but it's your presentation and how you engage with the camera that is all about how people will connect with you, and so you can grow your know, like, and trust, and attract more people to your tribe, and to take up your calls to action and maybe get on the phone with you or send you a message so that you can perhaps then start a more formal business relationship with them and turn them into a client. So that's it, production and presentation. Now, the first part of the mobile framework is your message. Your message really is what it's all about. So I encourage you to think about that. What is the, what do you want people to do? Kind of work backwards. Do you want them to click on your landing page? Do you want them to like your business page? Do you want them to follow you on Instagram? Do you want them to give you a call? Do you want them to go to your Shopify store? What is it that you want them to do once they've finished watching your video? So that's your call to action. That's important to know. The other thing that's really important to know is your introduction. Now, these things are the bookend of your message. With newsfeed videos, which is usually where we start to build our audience, with a newsfeed video, you have 3 seconds to capture someone's attention, for them to decide whether they want to hang around any longer and listen to you. So it's really important that you're very clear on what it is that you want to say straight away. You don't have the luxury of 30 seconds to start off with oh, hi everybody, I'm here because I wanted to say, and oh, Jim, thanks for joining me on the live, and it's like you got to hit it straight away. So think about your message. What is it? What is the one thing that you want people to remember about your video if they watch the whole lot? That one key takeaway that you want them to know. So, for example, I think that the most important thing about a video is eye contact. That's the power of video, is the ability to have the next best thing to a face-to-face conversation with somebody. And when you're having a good conversation with somebody, you're connecting with them in the eyes, you're looking them in the eyes. So lens communication is very, very important. So if I was to do a presentation where I wanted people to understand that the one most important thing is eye contact and lens communication, I might start by saying something along the lines of, thinking off the top of my head here, I might start the live by saying, if there's one thing that you can do to improve the chances of people listening all the way through to your video, it's this. It's eye contact. The power of eye contact is the next best thing to having a face-to-face conversation with somebody. And none of us like it when we're talking to somebody and they're looking over our shoulder, or they're looking at our boobs if we're a woman, or if they're constantly interrupting the conversation with us to shout out to somebody that they see, walking around, the office or the party. So if you'd like to know more about how you can make engaging and captivating newsfeed videos, please don't hesitate to contact me at any time. Just shoot me a direct message. Have a terrific day. So that's the type of thing that I mean, okay? You know what your point is. When you know what that point is, you can work backwards from there. Figure out your introduction, your hook, to start them, and then you can finish up. You can figure out how you're going to finish it up then as well, what your call to action is going to be. So that's M for mobile, in the mobile framework. The next thing is we need to decide what we're going to record on. Are we using our mobile phone? And if we are using our mobile phone, which I recommend, are we going live on Facebook, or are we going to record it using the app? Are we recording something maybe using clips or some other external, I'm talking iPhone language here, sorry to the Android users, but what is it we're going to use to record the video? We open that up, so the O stands for open. We open up our recording device, and then we use that to scope where we're going to shoot, what is going to be our background. Now, if you've ever seen documentaries or photos of behind-the-scene footage of movies or television shows being recorded, you'll see a group of people, usually with the camera in front of them, like the cameraman, and there'll be the director, maybe the producer and the scriptwriter, and the camera will be there, but they're all fixated on a screen somewhere. So they're looking at what the audience is going to see through that camera lens. And that's something that's really important if you want to create a polished and professional looking video. So open up your phone and the app that you're going to use and have a look around. We need to then choose a background. So B in mobile stands for background. This is what you're going to stand against. This is what's going to make you pop in a newsfeed video, or any video or live for that matter. It's what's behind you. How many Zoom conversations have we seen during lockdown where the background behind the person is just this hot mess of domestic chaos, or a messy office or something like that? Think about what your background is. Now the idea is we want you to pop against that background. We need you to contrast against that background. Now, using my video at this particular time as an example, you can see that I've got a dark jacket on against a paler background. If I was wearing something pale, like a cream or a white jacket, with my blonde hair and my pale skin against a white background, I'd just disappear into it. So, look for that contrast and try and keep it simple. The majority of videos are watched on mobile phones, and that screen size is really, really tiny. So we want you to dominate that screen. And if you have a busy, cluttered background and you shoot horizontally, the video is going to take up about that much screen space, and you're going to be the size of a fingernail. And when eye contact is the key to the connecting part and the engaging part of the video, your eyes are just we've lost them. So try and be as big in the frame as you can, and try and have as little in the background as you can to distract people from you and your eyes. I hope that makes sense for you. Next up, we're looking at eye contact. And as I said, the eyes are the most important part. So the I in the mobile framework stands for a few things. You ask yourself, how do I look against this background? Can people see my eyes? Is there light in my eyes? And if that's not the case, when you look at yourself, if you don't think you're popping, and if you can't see your eyes, sometimes, what I do, because I wear glasses, is I take a photo of myself against my, chosen or, perceived chosen background. And I have a look back at that photo and I have a good look at it. Am I centered in the frame? Will people be able to see my eyes? Do I pop against my background? So you can do things like that. Believe me, all these little things, it may seem a lot as I'm talking about it now, but once you get into a habit and run through it, it doesn't take long at all. You think about how long it used to take you to start your car when you first learned to drive. You get in the car and you're a bit nervous and you adjust your seat and you do all of these things, and it takes a while. But then after a period of time, you do it like that. It's just automatic, and you're chatting to someone or you're on the phone all at the same time or strapping a child into a car seat. It does become quicker. But these little steps along the way is how you will end up being able to confidently make a great video or go live, because it's going to look good. So they're the tricks or the tips and the instructions around the letter I in mobile framework. Next up, it's about light. I mentioned that light is a really good thing, and when I was working as a television presenter, I very quickly learned that the lighting director could make me look amazing or terrible. The hair and makeup ladies were gorgeous, but it was the lighting director that would really boom, And I think if you watch enough movies, you can see that too, And the reason that they look beautiful or handsome is because they've, the technicians have worked for hours to set up gorgeous lighting and angles for that scene. So think about the light. When you're looking and you're doing that initial test and you're looking at yourself against the background and in the frame, think about the light. Is there light on my face? Now I'm going to do something now. I've got a light on me, and I've also got light from a window coming in on the other side. So I'm going to turn off the light so that you can see the difference that good lighting makes. So just excuse me for leaning through the lens. Okay, so you can see that I've got a bit more shadowing now, and it's a bit harder to see, any enthusiasm or sparkle in my eyes. Light makes a big difference. Fortunately, I'm in a room with some natural light coming in the window, so thank you, thank you for that. But I'm just going to plug my light source, my electronic light source, back in. Excuse me. And don't be afraid. It's just what I've got. It's a ring light. And you can pick these up for less than $100 on Amazon as well. Okay, so yeah, that makes a bit of difference. I feel pretty again. Okay, the next part, so light. As you can see with this baby, you can see how the light is really, showing up the iris in his, I think he's a little baby boy in his eyes, but light in the eyes, sparkle, wonderful. So that's the L for light. And then finally we move on to the E. And the E stands for engagement. And enthusiasm and energy is how you build engagement. If you've started your video verbally on a strong footing with an introduction that captures attention of your audience, and they've stayed with you because you've been very clear on what it is that you wanted to say, and you're delivering your message in a concise way, and what you're saying has been perceived to be relevant by your audience, the way that you further build that connection with them beyond that your eye contact is your energy and your enthusiasm. Now there's a bit of a secret here is we're not asking you to fake it or to pretend to be somebody else or to being like this highly caffeinated person, or I'm not saying that you should act like some other really highly energy filled human being that you've seen doing videos who's a bit of a guru that you might follow. We want you to be you. You need to be you. Another thing that I see people do quite a bit in videos is they get what I call the newsreader syndrome, because we've spent a lot of time when we think of presenting to a camera. A lot of people associate that with newsreaders as opposed to acting, and newsreaders are all very, very solemn and emotionless. What we want from your presentation is you. So what are you like? You don't talk to your friends and family like this without emotion and being immobile and passive like this. It's especially if it's something that's pleasing you. And I want you to think about that. Is if you feel self-conscious or you're lacking in confidence, don't think about you and what you're doing. Think about the difference that what you have to say is going to have in somebody else's life. Think about what you're saying, not what you're doing. And then as far as the energy that you bring to your presentation, one of the things that I like to do, because the camera, it doesn't make you look fatter, but it does make you look more subdued. It does somehow, the transmission of your energy between you, the real person, and the lens is and then to the viewer is diminished through the broadcast chain. But I like to think about how I feel when I'm about to go to maybe a reunion with a friend that I haven't seen for a couple of years, or like I remember those feelings when I was going for a job, and I was sort of like down to the second or third interview, and I was pretty sure I was like top one or two, and it's like you're excited and you're confident. So you're you, but just at your best, like all the brains firing, and you're dressed well, and you're looking good, and you're rested, and you'll just smash it. That energy and that enthusiasm for what you have to share, for the belief in what you have to share, is what then engages the viewer and connects them to you. And if they don't, then we're never going to be a client or a customer of yours anyway, and it doesn't matter. They self-select, and that's a great thing. So that's it. The mobile framework. Message. Spend a bit of time preparing. Get crystal clear, rock solid on the point that you want to share, the point that you want to make. Figure out how you're going to start the video, the exact words, and how you're going to finish it. Open up your phone, decide what app you're going to use to record or go live in, and then have a look around for your B for background. I've skipped ahead a bit here, haven't I? MOB. Have a look around for your background. Choose your background. Then ask yourself, how do I look against this background? Can people see my eyes? Then you look for the light on your face. Do you look good? And is there light in your eyes? And if there is, fantastic. And then finally we get to E, the energy and the enthusiasm that will generate and sustain engagement in your video. So that's my presentation for today. I certainly hope that's given you something to think about, and perhaps cast some light on things that have been causing you a little bit of frustration. And of course, if you do have any questions about making videos at any time, you are welcome to contact me at any time. And it's been a privilege and a pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you very much.
Sue, thank you so much for taking out time to be on this summit. I really appreciate your time. And I'm sure anyone who is watching your presentation right now would have really got this framework about mobile that you have just mentioned in your presentation. I'm sure people will be able to really look good, sound good on the camera, and really make their videos much more engaging. So thank you once again for being on the summit, and appreciate all the support that you have rendered in the last few days of trying to get this board together. So thank you so much once again.